what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me as always. Today I want to talk to you about B58 reliability, and specifically the first generation B58 that comes in my 2017 BMW 440i. This car is about to hit 120,000 miles. I've had it for 3 years now, and this is going to be my honest long-term review of the Gen 1 B58 and specifically the 440i. So the short answer is yes, I definitely believe that the 2017 440i is still a reliable car at 120,000 miles, and at this point it's going on 8 years old. It's got some quirks which we'll get into, but generally I treat this as my reliable car in the fleet. I use it for the long-term vacation trips, and it's never left me stranded apart from breaking an axle one time, but I don't believe that's the car's fault, and again, I'll get into that in a few minutes. I have it tuned with MHD right now, just using the off-the-shelf Stage 2 tune, so it's pushing advertised about 480 horsepower, although it might be a little bit more because I have an intake and the dual resonator delete might free up a little bit of airflow, but not by much. So even at 120,000 miles with a tuned BMW, it's never given me a major issue outside of a flat tire. So even with a tuned high mileage BMW, this car is still my reliable car. The B58 has performed great up until this point, and I would choose it any day over my E90 335i if I'm going on a long trip. The car is also lowered on KW coilovers, so it handles super well. And I just overall really love this car. It's fast, it handles well, it's reliable. And if I were to go back in time to 2022 when I bought this car, I would buy it all over again with no regrets. But it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, guys. This car definitely is starting to develop some strange quirks, some odd behaviors with the electronics, typical high mileage BMW stuff. The transmission and the engine have both been totally solid. It's really annoying stuff more than anything, but it's worth noting, especially if you're a person who's thinking about getting into a high mileage B58 BMW. As far as high mileage used BMWs go, I think this one is a very safe bet, and the price is coming down a ton. So you can find these cars easily for 25K or less. And if it has 100,000 miles on it, I wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, you're gonna have to fix a few things, but I think the primary components like the engine and the transmission will still be totally fine. The ZF8 trans that comes in this car is also very stout and has a reputation of its own. I hear a lot in forums and from people in general that the B58 likes to drink coolant, and I have to admit, in my 2-year review I said that wasn't an issue for this car, but like a week later after posting that video, I got the low coolant light and I went to check my reservoir. It was almost completely empty. Now, it had been over a year since the last time I topped off the coolant, so some evaporation does happen, but definitely not enough to drain the reservoir. So about once a year, I'm finding myself having to refill the coolant reservoir. I'm not leaking anywhere. I check on this car very regularly. I know I don't have any coolant leaks, so it's going somewhere. And from what I understand, this is a common thing for B58 cars. Now, as far as it impacting my day-to-day driving, it has not impacted me at all. Car starts fine, car runs fine. The cooling system is great on this car. The stock system is rated up to 500 or 600 horsepower before you have to do anything. I've never had a single problem with overheating. And just once a year, I have to refill the coolant. So I don't know, guys, maybe you can comment and tell me if I'm cooked or not. So another thing I want to show you guys and prepare anybody who's thinking about buying a high mileage BMW. The number one thing you're gonna have to get used to is that check engine light. That check engine light is currently on because the diagnostic module that checks for fuel leaks is malfunctioning. So I don't have a fuel leak, but if I did, the system that would tell me if I had a fuel leak is malfunctioning. So yeah, guys, get used to having a check engine light, because whether it's a severe problem or a very minor one, your BMW is gonna throw a check engine light. Another annoying quirk that my car decided to grace me with the other day is currently up on the screen. So let me show you. Check tire pressure, reset tire pressure monitor. So my tire pressure monitoring system is malfunctioning, and I used the device to test the health of all 4 TPMS sensors in my tires. They all have good connectivity, good battery life. There's no sign of any of them being dead. So that means there's a chance the system itself is malfunctioning, and I'm gonna have to diagnose that. Another problem I've recently been having with the car has to do with the battery. And the battery might be dying, which is obviously has nothing to do with the car itself. I might just be due for a new battery. It is at least 3 years old. But I noticed that when it comes to this car, if it sits for more than a few days, like 3 to 5 days, the comfort access system will stop working. So what I mean is I'll walk up to the car to use the comfort access system and it won't beep, it won't do anything, it's just dead. I have to wake up the car with the key and then everything starts working again. But the weird thing is, when I start the car, I get a notification message saying that the battery discharged. Recently, it started doing it every day, so it's gotten worse. And I actually have a test slip here. I tested the battery, and you can see the battery, 2% charge, 75% health. So I tested every system, and they checked out to be fine, except the charge itself was at 2%. So something's been draining this battery. That's something I know all too well with my E90 335i, so I really don't want to deal with it with this car. So I'm probably gonna replace the battery and just hope for the best, but I felt it was worth noting because it's just another thing that you're gonna have to deal with if you want to get into a high mileage car. I want to tell you guys a little story if you don't mind, and that's about when I broke my front axle in this car very recently. So a few months ago, I was on vacation in Western Maryland, about 3.5 hours away from home, visiting family at their farm. So I'm in farm country, no cell phone reception, and I decide to show off and take my friend for a ride in the car so he can experience how fast it's gotten. So I do one launch and it goes perfect. Everything is great. I should have just taken the car back from there and considered it a success. But I was feeling good and I wanted to launch it again. But unfortunately, I picked a very stupid place to launch the car. It's lowered on KW coilovers, so it's not super low, but it's low enough. So I bottomed out and I hit the road so hard that it punched my axle out of my front differential and broke all 4 mounts to my metal engine mount bracket. So this happened, there was a massive bang, I saw white smoke out the back, and all I heard was clunk, 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 clunk. So I thought I blew the motor for sure. It was total carnage. There were pieces everywhere. What I thought was oil was everywhere. Come to find out, that was just grease from my front diff. So what happened was I punched my axle so hard that it broke the engine mounting bracket and separated my axle from the front differential. And while the wheel was still spinning, the engine was sitting on the axle, just jumping up and down. So I think I have some pictures of that. I'll share the carnage if I can. And obviously the axle is replaced at this point. I'm back to business. That was a very expensive lesson to learn, and I probably won't be launching my car unless I'm close to home. So that covers all the major quirks and random problems that I've been having with this car in the last year. It's coming up on 8 years old now. It has 120,000 miles on it. So some of these things are expected with these high mileage cars, and especially a high mileage BMW, because in case you didn't know, they're over-engineered. So there's a lot of electronics in this car that will start going bad over time, and I think I've started to experience that. The car has never failed to get me where I'm going, unless, of course, you're an idiot and you break an axle because you're launching the car. The major components of the car have been really strong and reliable, and it sounds like I'm ripping on the car a bit in this video. I'm just trying to be completely honest. And despite everything I've talked about in this video, I still highly recommend it. If anybody were to reach out to me asking if they should buy this car, I would say 100% do it. Just with the caveat that if you buy a higher mileage one like mine, you might have a few little weird things that you have to iron out, but the engine and transmission will be great, and I don't think you're gonna have any major expenses. And of course, if you get a lower mileage one or maybe a newer model year, all those little quirks will be non-existent. And the other stuff is more just high mileage BMWs in general. So in conclusion, this car has started to develop a few quirks that have become annoying to me, but it's never failed to start and never really failed to get me from point A to point B. So I still consider it a very reliable car. And the B58 itself has never skipped a beat. In my opinion, the car sounds good, looks good, and in 2025, you can find them pretty easily for under 25K. And I think in 2022, this was the best bang for the buck. And in 2025, nothing's changed. I personally think it's a great buy in 2025 and that a high mileage B58 shouldn't scare you. Just be prepared to deal with a few quirks if your car is going to be over 100,000 miles. So that'll do it for this one, guys. Drop a comment if you're thinking about buying this car and you found this video helpful, or if you think that I missed anything. And other than that, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.